Hello, everyone. This is Eric Abbate, your favorite board member of Homestead at the Gap. We have a lot to go through today. It's going to be a little bit of a long video, so let's get right into it. First thing I want to address is I've been seeing some things on Facebook. There's been some threats. There's been some talk of getting children involved in all this mess, and I'm going to go ahead and say that's not appropriate. We need to stop that. This is serious, but it's not that serious, okay? We don't want to be doing anything illegal or get anyone hurt. First thing I want to get into is I've seen a lot of discussion about disbanding the HOA over the years, and I just wanted to provide some information. You can see on the screen here, this is from the covenants. This is in our governing documents, and it basically says that we need 60% of the homeowners, which is one vote per property, to reach 60% to dissolve the HOA. So let's assume we have 255 lots. That means 60% should be a safe number of votes to be 155. So if 155 homeowners, counted by the properties they own, decide they don't want the HOA anymore, they can get together and sign a petition or some other form. Might want to consult with an attorney on that first, just to make sure it's clear, and then that can be taken care of. The next thing I want to go into is the question from Heather about not including Gracie's last message via text to the group before she resigned. And the reason is relevance. A text message should not be considered as written notice. If we're going to operate like a book club, I don't find that acceptable. And also, her text is not very clear, so I'll add that to the screen. We don't accept that as formal written notice. We need to have things in writing. It needs to be email, something similar to that. We can't be operating like this because that's unprofessional. So the next thing I was asked about, I had a question. I could not find it. It's buried in Facebook somewhere. I was asked about what happened with the vote and runoff between Vicky Leith and Gracie. And I will be posting that in a second. But basically, there was a tiebreaker. There was an official vote cast, and Gracie was selected as our fifth member. This talk about appointing someone that tied in a vote where there was a runoff is a bit silly, in my opinion, because if, let's say, for example, the mayor of your town goes into a runoff election and loses, do you think they're gonna just say like, hey, as soon as my opponent resigns, it's my turn? No, no, we don't do that. Elected officials need to have a proper vote in situations like this. So
tied for the fifth spot on the board. And so what I'm going to do is before I announce the board in its entirety, I'm going to give those two an opportunity to speak again, or they can say, you know what, let the other person, whatever you two want to do. But those two that are tied right now is there are Vicky Leith and Gracie are two that are tied. It looks like we have Gracie as well. So Eric, Heather, Brian, Paris, and Gracie.
Yay,
That is
congratulations,
your
board.
Congratulations.
Thank you all so much.
So everyone who is now on the board.
the next thing I want to go through is a joke that was posted on Facebook, and I'll put that on the screen here. You can read where it says, by Vicky Leith, and if you don't know who that is the treasurer of the current board. And Vicky says, we will have to assess a fine on him then, and then lien in his house, which I say 100% in jest. So what she's saying here is that we're going to take his money and take his house. And she's joking about this on a public forum. This is absolutely unprofessional. This is the kind of thing I talked about in the turnover meeting about the targeting and harassment. And jokes like this is where it starts, because if no one speaks up, it's going to go from jokes to real eventually. So I'll leave the link to where I spoke about this right now, and you can watch.
And what I'm proposing, if I'm on the board, is I want to make a couple changes that will basically remove the power of the HOA to assess liens and fines to homeowners. What I wanted to say, just in the spirit of protecting homeowners from a future
That's a big
board,
no.
a future board that may be abusive or, targeting people. I certainly would not want to be a victim of that.
The next thing I want to get to is the comment about quorum. We have a question here on Facebook. This person asked, and this is to Heather, to clarify the sufficient quorum present, please. Does there need to be a certain number present to get this into motion? All the quorum is not layman term. I want to have a clear understanding for myself and others, please. And this is something that the people have wanted to know. They want clarity. They want to know what's going on. And I'm going to say it right here and right now. During the public meeting, many of you are probably not aware that it even happened, but if you were there, Heather spoke about quorum to get things done requiring 50% of all households. So that comes out to about 137, 140 lots. We've never had a meeting that large, so I know we haven't reached a proper quorum to do these kind of things. However, when it comes to trying to remove me from the board, she calls for a quorum of half that. She calls for 25%, not 50. So that's another issue where there's no clarity, there's no oversight, and the people have no idea what's going on. So they don't even know that they need to be asking these questions. And the last thing I want to cover really quickly is I received a question on Facebook here. It says, what I want to know is, once you are not voted off the board, what are your intentions of action? Now, this is a great question because we're going to get into this, but I will say for now, I'm going to continue doing what I'm doing. We're going to continue to expose all of these things that are not going according to how they should. And if the board cooperates and wants to make things transparent, wants to make things done right, then we will work forward. We'll move through it. We will talk to the people. We will communicate. We will make this right. And I might actually continue doing this YouTube thing for you guys because you need to be talked to, not talked at. Subtle difference, but it means a lot. Thank you guys and have a great day.